News just coming into us now. In fact, Reuters reporting that Julian Assange can appeal. We're also just hearing that there'll be a further hearing in May to consider US assurances. Well, let's cross to the High Court to talk to Benedict Pavio, our correspondent who joins us from there. Benedict, we were talking about half an hour ago. You were saying you've been covering this for 13 years. You're going to have to cover it some more because it seems as though he is going to be able to appeal.
Yes, we're just not only hearing this from Reuters, but seeing this on the UK Judiciary website. Julian Assange, the co-founder of WikiLeaks, has been green-lighted, has been granted permission to appeal. Any submissions will have to be given by the 16th of April by his team. So this is fantastically good news for Julian Assange. And yes, interesting to hear that there's going to be, as soon as May, another court appearance, another hearing about this. This was being followed extremely closely, not just here in the United Kingdom, but across the world, for the possible repercussions and implications for journalism, for journalists that either seek to get leaks from various institutions, organizations, individuals, or who receive them. What do you do with that? Do you seek to get those leaks, and how do you, in a responsible manner, use that information? So extremely good news. There was real concern in the defense team of Julian Assange that he would have to, it would be the end of the road in the British legal system. Clearly, it's not the end of this British long legal saga for Julian Assange, let's remember, who is extremely unwell and for now 5 years already in the high-security Belmarsh prison in the north of London.
Benedict, we were talking earlier on and you were talking about the fact that Julian Assange has always said that he trusted the British legal system, and yet since then almost every decision's gone against him. For once, it seems one has gone in his favour.
Indeed, this one has gone in his favour, and this is really a window of opportunity where, reading very quickly, almost on air, the ruling that's been given by these two justices, Justice Sharp and Justice Johnson, they really saw the kind of coverage they were getting, and they knew that there would be repercussions from this. And now his legal team are granted grounds for appeal. So it's interesting because, the US will be absolutely, very disappointed and no doubt will appeal the decision. But meanwhile, it is Julian Assange's team that has won this round, if you will. He had won once before. You'll remember when we were at, just after the pandemic, outside the Old Bailey, another very well-known, famous, some would say infamous, but famous criminal court, where the judge then, Vanessa Barrezza, who's a specialist in extradition, she had actually granted leave for him to remain in the UK, but it wasn't because of what he'd done or it was because, she said, of the risk of suicide that she was concerned about and the mental health of Julian Assange. Here, this is not the point. The point is now that he gets that extra time, that extra space to appeal within the British judicial system. So what might have been the end of the road is not. That road, that legal drama, that legal saga continues, and no doubt the US will be reacting quite quickly, as will, we expect, quite a quick, rapid reaction from Stella Assange, Julian's wife. They got married 2 years ago in Belmarsh prison, indeed, and we expect her to come out. She arrived just before the ruling here with her legal team and just said a few words to, you possibly can see over my shoulder, some of the supporters here. The reason that we think there are so few, possibly, is because it was actually very late notice yesterday here in Britain, and of course we're in the run-up to Easter. So no doubt big repercussions from this, and huge relief for Julian Assange himself, who's in Belmarsh prison as we speak, and also his wife, Stella Assange, and his legal team.
Benedict, I'll let you go in just a moment so that you can read a little bit more detail about exactly what's been said by the court. But let me just ask you quickly before you go, just sum up for us how important this is. Of course it's important for the individual person, but for the whole of the world of journalism and the freedom of information.
Well, it's crucial. It's fundamental. It is, in that sense, groundbreaking. What he did was groundbreaking, to publish 700,000 or more top military and confidential cables to do with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and what he called really war crimes being perpetrated, he alleged, by and his team, by the US. War crimes, they say, that have gone unpunished, and that he was actually rendering a service to the world. And as you say, it's monumental for Julian Assange himself, because he gets more space, more time, as do his team, to appeal his extradition, which looked as though it could be imminent after 13 years. But it's also fundamental, say, the National Union of Journalists here in the United Kingdom, Reporters Without Borders, also, and other journalists' organizations across the world, because of the chilling effect that it could have had, they say, upon freedom of speech, freedom of reporting, where journalists could have been really censored themselves, because they would not possibly in the future, as a result of this, depending on the decision, from publishing leaks from institutions, from organizations, from individuals that certainly, for example, Assange's team would say would benefit and accountability and transparency in countries across the world. And no doubt many governments, not just journalists, looking at this ruling here in the United Kingdom, governments across the world, as we report this. And yes, we await to hear what Stella Assange, his wife, the editor also of WikiLeaks, Mr. Hudson, and also lawyers say the grounds upon which they will appeal. But I think they will express huge relief, and that justice has been done today, as we discover that breaking news that Julian Assange has been granted leave to appeal his extradition to the United States. So no extradition for Julian Assange, the co-founder of WikiLeaks, for the moment.